Right. So, me, so one of a guy asked, one of the student asked uh, about the reversible and irreversible reactions. One good question. What is the difference and why it becomes reversible and irreversible? We discussed reversible and irreversible reactions in manufacturing, in the industrial chemistry, right? There are reversible and irreversible reactions. So, like reversible reactions in the sense E plus B reacts and is producing C plus D, and the C plus D again reacts, produce A plus B in reverse. That is reversible reaction. That it happens both the ways, which means A plus B producing C plus D is the forward reaction, and C plus D reacting and producing A plus B in return is the backward reaction. So there are forward and backward reactions, and these two are in an equilibrium, which means even A plus B converting into C plus D happens, and C plus D converting into A plus B happens, but these two are in an equilibrium. Sometimes the forward reaction rate is high, the backward reaction rate is low, which means it produces more C plus D than producing A plus B. Sometimes the reverse reaction is rate is high and the forward reaction rate is low, which means it reverses more and happens the forward reaction in less can happen. And some reactions are irreversible, which means only A plus B directly converts to C plus D, but C plus D isn't converting back into the A plus B. The reason for that, now this is reversible reaction, this is irreversible reaction, and reason for this is actually the activation energy. Let's say the A plus B reacts and produces C plus D, right? This is C plus D, right? So this is C plus D, right? And do you see that this is the forward reaction, right? A plus B reactant becomes C plus D product. And this is the backward reaction. C plus D reactants become A plus B products. You get it? This is the forward reaction. This is the backward reaction. So if you take the forward reaction, A plus B activation energy is this much, EA. That's really small, right? But the backward reaction, C plus D converting into A plus B, that is this one, isn't it? That is really high. So converting A plus B into C plus D is possible because it's a small activation energy you have to overcome. But converting C plus D into A plus B again has a very large activation energy. It takes a lot of energy to convert back into this. So think of something like this. So you convert glucose completely into carbon dioxide plus water by just burning it, right? If you burn glucose, the glucose will convert into carbon dioxide plus water, but you can't just convert the carbon dioxide and water into the glucose back again. It's a huge process, right? If you burn glucose, you can make carbon dioxide and water, but collecting this carbon dioxide and water, you can't convert back into the glucose that easy. That is done by photosynthesis in the plants. But if you burnt it and you try to convert back into the carbon dioxide and water converting into the glucose, that's impossible, nearly impossible. It takes a huge energy, it takes a huge pressure, and sort of like many conditions are necessary. The reason is why the activation energy in the backward reaction is really high. Do you understand that? Because of that, some of the reactions are irreversible. Doesn't happen the both way. Why? The reverse reaction activation energy is really high. like carbon dioxide and water energy is very low and the glucose energy is really high. So if you want to convert carbon dioxide and water to glucose, you'll have to provide a huge energy. Because of that, it doesn't happen naturally. Get it? It doesn't happen naturally. You have to provide so much energy. But some reactions, this gap is really small. Very small gap is there. If the gap is really small, the reaction happening forward and backward is possible, right? And because the activation energy here is less, the forward reactions happens more. Because the activation energy here is like bit more than this one, the backward reaction happens less than the forward reaction. But because both the energy gaps are small, the reaction can happen both the ways. You understand that? So එච්චර අහන්න ගන්නේ. But ඔව් SO3 වල එක්සොතර්මික් හින්දා තමයි ඔයා හීට් එක අයින් කරන්නේ. හීට් එක අයින් කර තමයි රියැක්ෂන් එක. same ඩිෆරන්ස් එකක් නැහැ. ඉක්විලිබ්‍රියම් නැහැ කියලා බැලන්සිං වලදී වෙනසක් වෙන්නේ. එකම තමයි එන්නේ. It's a good question anyway. First. Right, we'll start with එච්චරම ටිකක් ගොඩාක් ඩීප් ක්වෙස්චන් නම් අහන්න ගන්න නැහැ හොඳ. ඒ කියන්නේ හැබැයි that understanding is something necessary. It's good if you understand that. And yeah, so and even in these days people get breakups as well. As I told you, I recently saw the people are going through a breakup. And they are now struggling to study. Yeah, they can't study because of the it's the second one I heard. One was like about to go into a breakup and they saved it, and the second one is like I think it's already doomed, and now they're like struggling to study. So as I said in the very beginning, best thing is you keep it for a while. Like you don't start a relationship when you're doing the A levels. Can't help. I know. Like it can't help sometimes. But best thing, you keep it when you can, because it's not the moment. The priority now is your own self. And remember that it's about your values. It's about your values, and if you don't value yourself before anyone else, you don't value the other person as well, right? If you don't value yourself before anyone else, you can't value another person as well. You don't value, because you are putting the other person on risk as well, because you are giving your whole responsibility to another person. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. 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 True. That's the thing, that sometimes my love also shakaboom. That's another one thing. Another one. The third one I heard in a row now. What the hell? What's happening with you people? So I can't blame on you, because I had the same issue when I was doing errors, I know. But this is the thing, this is the issue. You don't understand it now. That's the issue. My advice is you should first value yourself. Have a value for your own self, and one who deserves will deserve it, because you deserve to care about yourself and take your value to a certain extent that you feel free to have a relationship. You're free to have a relationship. And now, like, it's you're not free to have a relationship now because you have your own responsibility on your shoulders, on your head. Exactly. That's what I'm telling. Yes, exactly. You're building your values now. You're in the level of building yourself now. So you don't have, you can't, like, it's having a relationship means taking the responsibility of another person in a way, taking a responsibility of another person. And if we have the capacity of taking your own responsibility, only you can take a responsibility for the other person. So if you don't have it, you're just a baby trying to look for the attention from the other people. So don't be a baby looking for the attention from the other people. Instead, grow yourself. Be a man. Right? Yeah, be a man. That's the first thing. You know, when you grow yourself, you can find the one who deserves you. Now it's just only being so sensitive. Yeah, being so oversensitive that doesn't make any sense at all. Just delusional. It's completely delusional, of course. So delusional, and you're just enjoying your set of drama that you have created in your own mind. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's the actual nature of it. And the real true thing comes when you have your own responsibility about your life. When you have grow yourself to a level that you earn a good money, you have wealth, you have a house maybe, or a place you can live in for the rest of the time, and maybe a vehicle you can drive. Right? When you have things, you're so much free to have the responsibility of another person and grow yourself together. And that is when the true actual love, all the thing comes out. For the rest of the things are just is actually uh, sort of a, it's something you are misunderstood. That's all I have to say. Something you misunderstood. Not. Oh, කියන්නේ sir නේ. ඔක බඳින්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියන්නේ. Oh, yeah, yeah. True, true, true. So, ඒකේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ ඉතින් අර තාම තේරෙන්නේ නැති එක තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. දැන් කිව්වට කොච්චර කිව්වත් එහෙම තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක අපේ how our brains are wired, how our like mind is wired. We take decisions on the details we have absorbed so far. And if we have absorbed the details in a misconceptional way, we'll take the decisions and we'll be emotional on those things in the way we have wired. So it's all how those are all neural pathways, you know. We are always running on those neural pathways, and this happens mostly when there's no stable family background, or there's no strong person to uh, yeah, to like nurture you, to uh, guide you. If there's someone who's actually understands the basics and truly down to earth, he or she will actually make you understand how actual things work, how you should react on them. If even they don't understand it, you won't understand anyways. You will be wired on the way how you have experienced it, how you have experience on it. That can maybe your uh, brothers or sisters who will guide you, or will misconcept who will lead you to the misconceptions. Maybe your parents can be a friend of you, can be the neighbors of you. Anyways, all those are like the neural pathways of how you get into the conclusions, how you come into the actions. So all those are like the neural pathways. So when you understand the real thing behind it, you will get eased. You will feel free. Now this is all that, you know. So only when you have this understanding, you will start to grow up. until then the trauma will continue. Until then the trauma will continue, and it's really hard to explain it, really hard to make someone realize about it. And because of that, why I'm saying is, like, don't start any of the relationships in the A levels period, because if you can't handle it, don't do it. Okay? That's why I always say that if you feel like you are too emotional, too sensitive, too needy, don't go for a relationship. Just wait until you mature a little bit, at least experience from the others, and you start your own. Yeah. And so for the people who have anyways have lost their mind now, there's hell is like just, it's all a misunderstanding, and it's all a sort of a delusional thing. And just try to do something that makes you happy for now. Try to be relaxed. Feeling those things, the devotion, the sorrow, everything is really fine. It's human, completely human. Oh, find something that is very interesting to do for now, and eventually get the support of the other people. If you have good friends, get the support of those people. Most of people come into this situation when they don't have at least a good friend. If there's one good friend who can listen, definitely save you. Only one good friend is enough. Someone who listens, will help you. And if you don't have that, the best friend you can find is actually your parents. But if they are not that friendly enough, then don't go for it. And don't go for the strangers. Yeah, don't go for the strangers because when you go for the strangers, there's a saying that of course. So like there's a saying like ගහයට වැහි දෙකයි. ගහයට වැහි දෙකයි කියලා there's a saying in Sinhala. They say there are two rains under a tree, which means like if you go under a tree to survive the rain, the tree falls two of the rains, one the actual rain and one that accumulates in the tree and gets dropped in huge drops. So you have to suffer from the actual rain and the rain that drops from the tree as well. So which means the actual rain is the real problem that you have. When you go for a stranger, that his problems will also will drop onto yourself. Don't go for the strangers for no reason. There are some professionals maybe. Yeah, there are therapists. And if you can't reach it directly, reach one of your teachers or someone who's really responsible, has who takes the responsibility. Now, yeah, even yeah, okay. And so like try to find a way of getting out of it with the support of someone, because the support is necessary. Asking for help when it's necessary is being really brave. You have to. Otherwise, if you keep silent and if things got accumulated inside you, you get an accumulated pressure and you won't be able to control it somehow. And it's affecting your brain as well, your health, everything. So if the things go chemically wrong, really hard to correct it back. So first thing, when you feel that things are like out of your control, you ask for the help. You ask for the help who you can trust, not the strangers. Maybe even very tough parents or who are not very friendly parents are really good and very friendly when it comes to trouble. And when you are in actual trouble, they become really friendly and they become really nice. So the first to trust is your parents, of course. If you have sisters and siblings, then them. If you have a good friend, them. Likewise, then if you have a good teacher or someone elder who's really trustworthy. So if you are a girl, especially, don't go for the boys asking for help. They do most of the time. Take your time. Yeah. So don't be like attention seeking. Uh, just no, yeah, those are issues actually. හ්ම්? කාටද? එහෙම වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. එක්කෙනෙක් survive වුණා. The other one is no, I don't think they will survive. Huh? It's really hard to escape the matrix. Now, when you're in the trouble, it's really hard to escape the matrix because it has to be neutralized. You'll have to come up to a certain level that you can understand things. Without that, you should be able to see things out of the frame. Now, that takes time, and then including our bro. He's the third person I heard in a row. I feel like you have a trouble as well. No, okay. Looking at the face. No, okay. So yeah, don't go into the trouble. Don't ask for the troubles. Right. So we'll come to the example. Dukahana Ayera. Dukahana Ayera. Those fellows. Huh? No. You know him? How do you know? He was in? For real? Yeah. Okay. You study together? No, not him. I don't think he's into, no, right? He's a very neutral guy. Yeah. Now this guy is different. I'm gonna tell your mother. No, I won't tell your mother. Maybe his mother already knows. She's really friendly guy. Not gonna tell your name. Don't worry. One more. Right. Okay. I won't tell. Sorry. Study anyways. You study for yourself. Right? So come to this one, internet and email. Right? The internet and email have reduced the distance between people and have made the world a global village. In today's life, the internet and email have become the most popular tools used for information seeking and communication. The internet and email can be used for both good and bad purposes. This chapter intends to examine how to use the internet and email effectively for information seeking and communication. At the end of this chapter, you will be able to gain a great understanding of what is internet, the history and development of the internet, facilities available on the internet, browsing the internet, searching for information on the internet, what is email, handling email, ethics of the internet. And so before discussing the internet, let's first quickfire what is a computer network. So come to this one. What is a computer network? A collection of computers connected to each other with the facility of exchange data is known as a computer network. So the internet and everything is like a network is like a connection of between few of the computers. So maybe they are like nowadays now in this level they're supercomputers, right? Set of supercomputers are there. They're interconnected, and one of a computer can access the data in the other computer. Get it? So let's say you have data in your computer and another person has data in the other person's computer, and you can directly access to that one. So likewise, there are set of those connected computers, and that is altogether a network, right? So those networks together is actually the internet, right? And nowadays it can be seen in addition to computers, many other electronic devices and equipments are connected within a computer network, right? So a computer network is a set of collection of computers connected to each other, right? And what is internet? Simply defined, the internet can be identified as a collection of computer networks. That is, the internet is an interconnected network collection, right? So collection of computer networks together, right? So like computer network is connected computers, a set of connected computers, and the internet is set of networks together, right? Collection of computer networks together is the internet. That is, the internet is an interconnected network collections. To further explain what is the internet is, the English term used for the internet can be also used. The internet is referred to as internet in English, and it is formed by combining two words, interconnected networks. So few of the networks connected together makes the internet, right? That it means that the internet is collection of computer networks, a collection of computer networks, right? So this shows a network diagram of current internet structure, right? So there's world ISP in the sense internet service provider, right? So there's a world level of internet service provider, and it gives to the regional internet service provider, and the regional internet service provider gives uh, data to the local internet service provider, and through the local internet service provider we get to have the data, right? Who is the local ISP here? Who? Hutch? No. අපිට data එන්නේ කාගෙන්ද? Yeah. Sri Lanka, no, obviously Sri Lanka Telecom, right? Sri Lanka Telecom is a local internet service provider here, and the telecom gets the service from who? Who's the regional one for ourselves? From India, right? Our cables වලින් එන්නේ මොහොත යටි. We get from India. The India gets from world level of a ISP, right? That's how we get the data. ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් තමයි අපි ගොඩාක් සුපර්වයිස් වෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ. අපේ ඕවර්හෙඩ් ඉන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ. ගොඩක් ඒවා කන්ට්‍රෝල් වෙන්නේ. මම වර්ක් කරනකොටත් ඉස්සර එහෙම තමයි ඉන්නේ කියන්නේ. ගොඩක් වෙලාට අපිව ඕවර්ලොක් කරන්නේ සිංගප්පූරු වලින්. ඒ කියන්නේ මම වර්ක් කරනකොට අපිව ඕවර්හෙඩ් කරන්නේ සිංගප්පූරු වලින්. හැබැයි සිංගප්පූරු වල ඉන්නේ ඉන්දියන් අය. සම්මත් ඉන්දියාව වලින් තමයි ඉතින් ඒක යන්නේ. අපෙන් තමයි මෝල්ඩිව්ස්. අපි මෝල්ඩිව්ස් බලනවා. මෝල්ඩිව්ස් කට්ටිය ගියව බලන්නේ අපි. ඔව් මෝල්ඩිව්ස් හරි. අපි වගේ තමයි. හරිද? So that's how it happens, right? Right. The origin of the internet. The origin of the internet began with the Advanced Research Project Agency, ARPA, right, which was under the Ministry of Defense of the United States in late 1960s. The main goal of this ARPANET network was to easily connect universities, scientific research institutions, computer systems that were geographically scattered. ARPANET එක තමයි මුලින්ම පටන් ගන්න ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එක වගේ එක ඔරිජින් එක ARPANET එක. The connection between the universities and the scientific research located in geographically different places. This ARPA network, which started very small, grew over time. It became the internet used today. Today, the connection of vast number of computers through the internet has turned the world into a global village. Right? The internet currently used does not have an owner. No, there is a sole administrator for it. So the internet nowadays doesn't have a sole owner of it. It's just a set of networks, and different people are using it, and there are different accesses. So depending on the web address you are typing, you go into different locations, right? And it doesn't have any sole owner, but there are like rules and regulations owned by some non-governmental organizations. They bring the ethics and norms and rules to these services. Some doesn't have those rules and ethics. Like what? Like dark web. Telegram is, they don't have the ethics and rules. Those are even ethics and rules. ඒකලගේ ethics කාටවත් access දෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඒක ගියහම පස්සේ level එකක් තියෙනවා එහෙම access කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා. ඔව්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මොකක් හරි crime එකකදී එහෙම access කරන්න. That I don't know. ඔය dark web කියන්නේත් ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි කියන්නේ. දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔය ඩාර්ක් වෙබ් කියන වගේ ඒවා මේ ඒවට rules and regulations ethics නෑ organizations වලින් control වෙන්නේ. ඒවත් ඔය ස්නයිපර්ස්ලා හිට්මෑන්ලා ඕගන් සෙලින් ප්‍රොස්ටිටියුෂන් ඔය ඔක්කොම global level එකකින් යනවා. You want to shoot someone, you can hire hitman and do that instantly. I don't think it happens in Sri Lanka though. We have a different method of doing it if you want to know. And in the global level, it happens actually. You can hire like Russian sniper and want to assassinate someone, you can do. They have paid money. That's really risky, and he can blackmail you or do something like it's really dangerous. Going into the dark web is really dangerous. There are some cases who suicided after getting into the dark web, and because there's no owner for that, like a set of networks, so they have different access levels. No, it's just an address. Oh, yeah. Yes, they have different accesses. Right, so come to this one. The internet currently used does not have an owner, nor is there a sole administrator for it. However, the Internet Society, ISOC, which is a non-governmental international volunteer organization, takes the responsibility of formulating the standards and the codes of conduct required for the internet, right? So this ISOC, the Internet Society, right, is making the standards and codes, right? And they are a non-governmental organization, right? Their main objective is to encourage people to abide by these standards and to make the internet a site containing more valuable and important information than browsing the internet. The internet is the easiest medium available today for searching for information, and many people can be seen turning to the internet for information research. Therefore, let us now examine in detail how to browse the internet. To browse the internet, you must first connect an internet service, right? You have to connect with the internet service like a service provider. Connecting to an internet service can be done in several ways. A few of those ways are as follows. If your computer is connected to computer network of your school or workplace, if the relevant network has internet facilities, the computer is configured appropriately to receive the relevant service. You'll have the opportunity to connect to the internet service easily, in many cases automatically. You have the ability to connect to the internet service through a wired connection by using modem. So there are two of the ways accessing. One is the wired way, right? You connect with the wired way, like through a modem or a router, right? Like using ADSL service provided by Sri Lanka Telecom. So you connect to the wires there. And you can also connect internet service by using USB wireless modems. The other way is the wireless way. Either it's a wired way or the wireless way. In many cases, this can be identified as dongle. Currently, all mobile phone service providers used in Sri Lanka provide the necessary connection facilities to obtain internet services, right? එතකොට මේ අර මේ local ISP එකෙන් තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ගන්නෙ. Local ISP එකෙන් ඒගොල්ලෝ අරගෙන third parties වලින් අරගෙන ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙනවා මිනිස්සුන්ට සර්විස් එක දෙනවා. ඒකට Mobitel හරි Dialog හරි අච්චරි ඕන එකකින් ඒ සර්විස් එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි එක්කෙනෙක් තමයි local ISP ඉන්නේ. එයාගෙන් අරගෙන wireless method එකට හරි wired method එකට හරි ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right. Once you have established a connection to the internet in any of the ways mentioned above, you can use the service on the internet as you wish. service available on the internet. මෙන්න මේවා තියෙන services world wide web එක www.tech එකකට ඒකව search කරන්න පුළුවන්. Then the emails are there. Then the FTP, file transfer protocol. Then the internet calling, like the internet telephone. Then internet relay chats. Then the news groups, online shopping, online services, wiki, the Wikipedia and all, instant messaging, social networks, everything are there. Among these services, we will only examine the World Wide Web, www. Email in details. Come to the World Wide Web, www. The part of the internet where information is hosted is called the World Wide Web. We search for the information we need through the World Wide Web. To search for information on the World Wide Web, we must browse it, and in many instances, we use it as browsing the internet. If you're interested in learning more about how these core components interact, I can provide additional details on how the facilitate these services required for browsing the internet. You need a web address and a web browser. Right? If you have a web address and a web browser, you can use the internet. Right? So you know that you have an address, right? You have you have IP address, right? The software application used for browsing the internet is called web browser, and there are so many web browsers as well. There are a variety of web browsers available, and some of the most popular ones are listed below. Internet Explorer, like this, the oldest one, and Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Opera Mini are the web browsers. So for your understanding, a few screen pictures of the web browsers mentioned above are shown below, right? So the first one is actually Internet Explorer. Second one is Mozilla Firefox. The third one actually is Google Chrome, right? Right. Web address. Now come to the web address. There is an infinite amount of information stored on the internet, and unique addresses have been provided for the location where this information resides to handle them systematically. These addresses are known as web addresses and are also referred to as uniform resource locators, URLs, right? So those web addresses you call as uniform resource locators or URL. This is the part you copy when you want to send a link to someone, right? URL. So web addresses are structured in a way similar to how your home address are formatted. You know that there is a specific order to follow when nothing down someone's when writing down. Sorry, when noting down someone's address. It is customary to record the address starting with the house number, followed by the name of the relevant street, and finally the city. So when providing web address, www is mentioned first, followed by the name of the website. Afterward, the domain, the category to which the website belongs is indicated. A dot is used to separate each of the parts. You cannot use spaces anywhere in the address. Only a few special symbols are permitted, right? So what do you do? Name of the website, then the domain, then there's a folder or something to which the website belongs is indicated. You cannot, yeah. So like name of the website, domain, you go into the folder. Likewise, you can continue the address, right? Web address structure in this way can be seen as follows. So school.schoolnet.lk and www.ethaksalawa.moe.gov.lk, right? So however, due to the rapid growth of the internet, you can also find web addresses that are slightly different from the format above. Some examples of such web addresses are shown below. So http blogs reuters.com are there. Likewise, different ones are there, right? They use for different terms, right? By entering the relevant web address in the designated space of web browser, we can visit the respective website. Once there, we can see the home page of that website and browse the site of using the available hyperlink. When the mouse point is moved over hyperlink on a web page, the pointer change into the shape of a hand, right? Right. So these are the parts of a a web address. So there's a protocol, like the HTTP is a protocol, and domain. So like www something domain, path folder, a part inside the page there may be a folder that is leading to, and there's a web page of it, name of the web page, right? So come to the protocol. So three type of protocols are there. Protocol refers to the set of rules and regulations, right? So protocol is set of rules and regulations they've been used, right? So those are standards used by a sort of organization. Then since there are various services on the internet, different protocols are used to perform their respective tasks. Some popular protocols used on the internet are listed below. So HTTP is mostly used for the pages, right? Web pages. Hypertext transfer protocol for the web pages. If HTTP there, you are going to a web page mostly. And if there's FTP, that is file transfer protocol, and this is for transferring the files. And SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, is mostly for the email services. So depending on thing what you'll be doing, you will see if it is a web page HTTP, a file transfer one it's FTP, if it is an email something starts with SMTP. Domain name. A domain name is used to indicate the category to which a website belongs. It can generally consist of two or more parts, and a dot is used to separate these parts. The general format for recording a domain name is as follows, right? So subdomain, second level domain, and top level domain. So to separate each and every domain, what you actually use it is a dot. Dot වලින් තමයි domains ටික වෙන් කරන්නේ. This was හදිසියක්ද? Hello අම්මා. මම අම්මා ක්ලාස් එකකින් හදිසියක් නෙමෙයිද? right. මං කෝල් එකක් දෙන්නද දෙකට වගේ? Right. Right. So if you would like to understand how these elements function together during a user's web browsing session, I can provide an overview of. The final part of this is known as the top level domain name, TLD, and it is allows for easy identification of the category to which the relevant website belongs. Several popular top level domain names for the TLDs are shown below. So මේ තියෙන top level domain set එකක් .com, gov, edu, org and aero, museum sort of thing. ඔයාට මේවා pay කරලා ගන්න වෙනවා. මේව ගන්නවා නම් ඔයාට website එකක් හදලා ගන්නවා නම් ඔයා pay කරලා තමයි ගන්න වෙන්නේ. It is .com, mostly it's commercial organizations, gov is for the government, edu is for the educational institutions, org is like non-profit organizations, aero is like air transport aviation institutions, the museum is for the museums, right? And there are like country level domains as well. Within when a top level domain represents a specific country, it is recorded using the designated country code assigned to the country. Only two letters are used for the country code, and several popular country codes are listed below. If it is Australia, it's AU, BD is Bangladesh, BT is Bhutan, CA Canada, CH Switzerland. CN is China. DE Germany. HK Hong Kong. IN India. SA Saudi Arabia. US United States. UK United Kingdom. LK Sri Lanka. DK Denmark. Why? LK Sri Lanka. What? SLT? Hmm. No, I think www something.lk කියලා domain. The country domain, right? As the second level domain name, the name of the relevant institution or suitable alternative name will be added. So, as the second level domain name, you use a name, maybe the name of the institute or something. Through this, it is very easy to find who the relevant website belongs to, right? The subdomain name indicates the relevant service of the internet, right? The subdomain name indicates the relevant service on the internet. Several subdomains used in this manner are given below. Subdomain name www, FTP, mail, sort of things are there. www is commercial level of a domain. That is worldwide web. Vishwavisiri VMN signal. FTP is file transfer protocol. Gunuhomaru protocol. So mail is like email. The diagram below will help you understand how domain names are structured, right? So these are the roots. These are the country level codes, and these are like service level codes. They are divided into many, right? Right. How domain names are structured. So starting from the path, so you go into a website and there's a folder of it, that is the path or the folder, indicates the location where the relevant web page exists, right? And the name of the web page, the second one, the name of the web page where the information we are searching for is stored. Operating a web address on the internet topic. Let's briefly examine how relevant web page is delivered to us when you type a web address into the address bar of the web browser. For this, let us first look at how computers are connected on the internet. In order to uniquely identify every computer connected to the internet, each computer is assigned a unique number. This unique number is known as the Internet Protocol address, right? We call it the IP address. So everyone has an IP address, right? Internet Protocol address is there for everyone. Usually an IP address is recorded in numbers way, right? It's recorded usually as numbers. Right? Don't be dead, okay. Calm down, right? So the address shown here is an IPv4 type IP address, like it's in numbers, while recording an IPv6 type IP address takes a slightly different format. So in an IPv4 type IP address, there are 4 parts separated by dots, whereas in IPv6 type IP address, there are 6 parts separated by dots. So there are IPv4 type and there are IPv6. In IPv4, there are 4 parts separated with the dots. IPv6, there are 6 parts separated with the dots in the address. Not double dots. Just like me, make a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 ni. Right? So to look up information on the internet, we must provide the IP address of the location where the relevant information is contained. However, remembering and using such addresses recorded in number is a difficult task. Because of this, names are substituted for IP addresses. Now, the IP address is usually in numbers, but you substitute it with names. Give the names, but everyone has this IP address in a number, right? But you substitute it with names, and if you want to find the number, you actually can, right? And we call these web addresses, right? So converting or replacing these numbers with the phrases or the words is called a web address. The table below records several web addresses and their corresponding IP addresses, right? So web address is there, the IP address is there. So www.doinets.lk. This is the actual IP address. And google.com, this is the actual IP address in numbers, right? Web address is just the names. IP address is actually in the numbers, right? Within the internet service, server computers running in the domain name system DNS server maintains a list of web addresses and their corresponding IP addresses, right? So they maintain a domain name system, set of web addresses in their IP in the like in the terms of IP addresses in the numbers. When we enter the certain web address, this domain name system serve works to substitute it with the relevant IP address. So when we type something, they will convert it into the numbers or the IP addresses, right? Through this, the IP address corresponding to the web address entered by us can be founded very quickly and easily, enabling us to reach the relevant computer that the details are there. So to go to a certain website, you can use either either the web address or the IP address assigned to it. Right? These are few of those web addresses, and each of these addresses have the IP addresses as well. Now come to the email and so let us now examine the details of how email messages are used for communication, like types of emails. So when discussing email services, two main type of email services can be identified. What are those? Some of them are paid services, some of them are fully free. Like the Gmail is fully free, right? The Outlook is somewhat paid. You have to pay for some extra features. It's paid. You have to pay for it for the extra features. Maybe there's a level of free access, but for the better features, I think you have to pay for the Outlook. Storage features basically it's free. Gmail is free. Paid email services. Email services obtained through an internet service provider ISP or a dedicated email service provider fall under this category. Here you must pay the relevant organization for the email service according to an agreed plan. Right? The free email services. Nowadays many internet websites provide email facilities, and in most cases these services are offered completely free of charge. Among the service providers that offer such free email facilities, Hotmail, Yahoo and Gmail are at the forefront. So now, do they have Hotmail still? Probably, right? Yahoo? Using, right? So yeah, general formation of an email address. An email address is made up of combination of three parts. They are the name identified by the owner of the email address. So name identify the owner. Right. Your address basically. And the @ symbol. Then the domain name. Right. Either it's gmail.com or something. Right. So these three parts separately. At then this gmail.com. Right. So you should practice and train yourself practically work within an email account. For this, let us first examine how to create a free email service account. When using a free email service, you must first visit the relevant website and select the options like create an email account. This is the catalog box you get. You go to the website and trying to get registered there. Details so since the way free email service operate is mostly similar, we will carry out our explanations using Gmail email service. However, keep in mind that the rapid development taking place on the internet, some of the internet interfaces shown here might appear slightly different when you actually use them. It's actually completely different now. It's like really old. Here, a form will be provided to enter your detail to open a new email account, and you must fill in the relevant details. So when you go to make a new Google account, this is how you see things. Now it should be different than this because this is even Internet Explorer, the web browser. Really old image. Okay, so here you will get the opportunity to obtain an email address for your choice, and you must mandatory confirm your identity that you are a human user by entering the special code shown at the bottom of this form. You have to take you're not a robot. After you finish entering the relevant details, your email account will be created and directed to the relevant email service. Here you can observe that you have received a welcome email message, a few messages, right? So when you access it, you see some welcome email messages by the Google, right? Those messages are those, right? And in the inbox, this is where we can see the messages received by our email account, right? Our email account. And the sent, this is used to store the messages sent by us. The draft, this is where messages that have been prepared for sending but were not completed for some reason are stored, right? There are spams and junks. Unsolicited messages received by us will be directed here. Then trash, the deleted, this is used to keep messages that have been deleted. Checking for received messages, when you log into your email account, you can view all the new messages received by us in most email services. While you remain connected to the service, any new messages received are automatically updated in the box. Sending email messages. To send new email message, you should use the compose button or new button. When you click on one of the above buttons to send new messages, a dialog box like the one shown below will appear, and you must enter the required information. Dialog box. So 2, this is where you must enter the recipient's email address in case where copies of the message need to be sent to multiple people. The other addresses also can enter here, right? 2 එකේ ඔයාලට දාන්න පුළුවන් addresses ඕන ගානක්. කීප දෙනෙක්ට ඕන නම් දාන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. CC, this can be used to include the relevant address separately by commas or semicolons in an instance where copies of message need to be sent to additional people besides the primary recipient. So if you want to carbon copy something, like let's say you are sending this email in an organization or a company, you are sending it to one of a client. So you as an executive or a newcomer, you are sending a message to the client. So when you are sending the message to the client, you should carbon copy your executives, your managers and all, right? So in the carbon copy, you put all the emails of the other managers and executives, so you acknowledge that you send this email to the relevant client, and the client can also see the carbon copied email addresses in the CC. Get it? He can see all the CC parts, right? That is for the safe side. You're actually doing it because CCs, all the CC email addresses will also be seen by the client as well. Yeah. So next one is BCC. BCC in the sense like if you BCC someone, the client won't see the BCC mail addresses. Let's say there's a chairman or something, he don't want to be seen by any of the other clients, but you want to make him acknowledge that you send the email, so you BCC him, so the client won't see him, but still the chairman will see that you send the email because he is BCC, right? That no. This option is also used to send a message to multiple individuals. However, different can be observed in entering addresses. Here compared to the entering them into 2 and CCC. The address entered 2 and CC are visible to everyone, right? The address entered into 2 and CC are visible to everyone who received the message. In other words, all recipients will be able to see the addresses of everyone else who received that message. However, the address entered in BCC cannot be seen by anyone, that is except for the individual to whom the address belongs and specific individuals specified in the BCC address. Those cannot be seen by other owners of the address. In other words, no one can find out who else received that relevant BCC pen. Let's see. CC is carbon copied. I can't remember what BBC. Blind carbon copy. Blind carbon. Subject. This is used to assign a heading title for the message. Always try to add an appropriate short heading for the message. This will make it easy for the recipient to categorize your message. In the empty space shown below, this you can type the message you require. Right? After providing the necessary information, you can send your message to the relevant individual or individuals by clicking the send button, the attachments. When preparing an email message, the blank space provided for typing only allows us to enter things that can be input using keyboards. How do we send a photograph or a stored sound file along with the email message? For this, attachment must be used. Anything created on a computer can be sent along with the attachment addressed to the email message. So anything created on computer can be sent along with the attachment address as an email message, right? But the person who received it can only open it if the relevant software is there which can read it. Let's say you are sending a PSP file, Photoshop file. The relevant receiver has a Photoshop file, he can open the Photoshop file. If he doesn't have it, it won't open, but you can send it. That's the thing, you can send anything, right? So that is why usually the files such as a prepared document, spreadsheet, presentation, image, audio file or animation can be linked to an email message as an attachment. However, in order to open a received attachment, software used to create that specific attachment must be installed on your computer. Otherwise, you can't open it. Not even though you will be able to download the relevant file, you will not be able to view its content. For example, if you receive a document prepared using the Word 2010 as an attachment, the Word 2010 must be installed on your computer to open it, right? Then sign into the email account. To work with email, you must first properly log into your email account. For this, you must first visit the website that provides the relevant email service. Afterwards, log into the relevant account. You must provide the corresponding email address and the password. The characters entered for the password will not be displayed on the screen as they are. Instead, asterisk or another symbol will show in those places. Be mindful of the following points when assigned a password for an email account. You should not assign easily guessable words. Easily guess කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා දාන්න එපා. Parts of word as your password. For example, the things like your first name, your date of birth, or your telephone number should not be in a password. ඒවා දාන්නේ. The password should not be written down anywhere. It should not be written down anywhere where others can easily access it. It's best if you can memorize the password without writing it down anywhere. Do not share your password with any external person. Do not share your password with a person for no reason. If you ever have to share it, make sure to change the password immediately. Similarly, someone else happens to find out your password, take steps to change it immediately. Use at least 8 characters for your password. Also, use a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols, and incorporate both uppercase and lowercase, right? Mix of letters, numbers, symbols, uppercase and lowercase. Make sure to change your password from time to time. Change your password time to time. Use different passwords for different services. In other words, you should avoid using the exact same password multiple services. Avoid using the exact same password for multiple services. You do that, right? I know. So even when I was working, we had this. I had to access one of their services. It was a like multinational one, so I had to access one of their platforms. So they were creating my account, and there was like one super user from UK or somewhere. So he accessed me, and he took the access of my laptop, and he was like creating the account. Once finished it, he asked for a password to like type a password. I was taking too long to write the password. They valued their time and they didn't want to wait. So he gave me a password and he went away. The password he gave was like, I'm not using it anymore. So, sorry. Good to fly at. Good to fly at. They're really good at like making passwords, I think. It was good to fly at, and it's really easy to remember, isn't it? Even I can still remember it. Good to fly at. If I had to make a password, it was like this: good to fly at, capital G, good to fly at. So everything is there. The uppercase, numbers, really easy, and it's something can remember as well. And he created it at the moment, gave it to me, and he asked me to change it, but I use it for the rest of the time because it's really easy to remember. If I made a password, like I won't be remember it. Like after 1 hour, I won't be remembered. That's the thing. I'm good at making passwords. Not that simple, making the passwords. Not කියන්න බෑනේ. Right, so that's it, right? I'll send you 2 of the PDFs. මේ දෙක දාන්නම් මම. So Thursday අපි extra session එකක් යනවා 6 to 8 9. You joined for that as well. The Thursday දන්නවා session එකක් යන එක join වෙනවද? 11 පන්තිද? So did a session on Thursday, huh? හැබැයි මේක ස්ටුඩියෝ එකේ අනනේ බිම්බාර්ලා ඉන්නේ බණ අහන වගේ තමයි ස්ටුඩියෝ ඒකේ තියෙන්නේ එන්න පුළුවන් ඉතින් පුළුවන් මම දාන්න හොඳයි ගොඩක් ඒකේ අපි past papers PPCs එක තමයි ඩිස්කස් කරන්න පටන් ගත්තේ සෙට් එකේ ටිකක් කතා කරා තව physics past එක ගන්න නේද ඔන්න බර්නෝලි සනම්මනන් ටිකක් ඕන කිව්වනේ බර්නෝලි සනම්මනන් තියෙන ඒ කියන්නේ fluid mechanics එකේ මම එව්වා ඔව් ඒ question banks එක ඔක්කොම ඉල්ල ගන්න microbiology ඒවත් ඇති ඔක්කොම ටික වගේ ඉල්ලගෙන ඒ ටික කරලා නැත්තම් කරන්න කරලා අපහු මේ එකපාරක් හරි බලන්න. ඩිස්කස් කරපුවා. මං අහන්නේ ඩිස්කස් කරපුවා. ඔව්. ඇයි ඒවත් නැද්ද එතකොට? අයික මට මෙසේජ් එකක් දාන්න මතක් කරලා මං එවන්න. මයික්‍රොබයොලොජි එකේ ඩිස්කෂන් එක ඇති ඈ. ඒකේ 60 හරි 72 හරි MCQs ඇති. 72ද මන්ද තියෙනවා. ඒක අර ඔක්කොම ටික අහුවෙන්න හදලා තියෙන MCQ සෙට් එකක් තිබ්බේ. අර පාඩම පොඩ්ඩක් කියවලා MCQs ටික go through කරා නම් overall idea එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකත් බලන්න. question banks ටික අනිත් ඒවාත් බලන්න කරපුවා. හරි. හරි. limiting එකනේ. maximum. ඔව්. මේකට වඩා වැඩි. That is the maximum friction that it takes. idea එක තියෙනවනේ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. එහෙම හැබැයි limiting friction කියන්නේ මොකක්ද වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන එකකුත් නැහැ ඉතින්. limiting friction කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා? structured disk එකක. limiting friction. පරණ එකක්. which is it? දැන් වැඩි. ඒව too basic. කියන්නේ දැන් වැඩි ටිකක් too basic ඒවා අහන එක අඩු කරලා ඇත්තේ. ගොඩක් විතර. කියන්නේ theory base ඒවනේ. ඊට වඩා ටිකක් අර ටිකක් actual practical type එකේ ඒවා තමයි ඉතින් ටික ටික වැඩි වෙන්නේ. රට ඒ ගතිය වැඩි වෙයි. Come again? What is the? එහෙනම් ඔයා ඔකට ඇඩ් කරන්න ඕන sugar හරි මොනවා හරි. හිතලා තමයි ඒක. Because like the yeast acts on the glucose basically. One of a sugar, basic sugar should be added. Why the? Because of the carbon dioxide gas. Accumulation of carbon dioxide gas inside the dough. Oh, because but the basic is if we add a sugar, a bit of sugar, the action of yeast will be more because the yeast converts sugar into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide accumulation actually makes the dough soft. Now you think and tell me. Now all those things are like you have to think and tell. You can tell and think like that knowledge is there. Just have to use that knowledge to answer the question, but it's not directly mentioned in the tube. Why would it get sour if it gets sour? Why can it get sour? Sour is basically acids. Huh? If the fermentation is making carbon dioxide, the first step, right? And if it kept further, the fermented acid will, like the fermented alcohol will convert into what? Acetic That's it. That is the second step of it. Vinegar production. ඒක තව තිබ්බොතින් ferment වෙච්ච එක acetic acid production වෙනවා. So if that happens, the acetic acid is sour. I think we discussed it. අරක continue වෙනවා එතකොට. ඒ චුට්ටක් හිතන්න ඕනේ. අනිත් එක අපි ඔක ඩිස්කස් කරා. ඔය ඒ කියන්නේ මං කිව්වා මං MCQ එකකුත් දුන්නා. මොකක් හරි සාම්පල් එකක් සව වෙන එක. සාම්පල් එක සව වෙන එකක් MCQ එකකුත් දුන්නා. වෙන්න පුළුවන් කිය. ඒක තමයි. That's what you ඒව චුට්ටක් හිතන්න. Be practical. You know. ඒව චුට්ටක් කල්පනා කරන්න ඒවා හිතන්න ඕන ඉතින්. ඒවා හිතෙන්න ඕන.